Yeah.
Yes. And we are back. Yo, 610 Hip Hop. I got a good one for y'all, man. Got a local legend in the house. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a real good one.
I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really, that's the
yes, sir.
Changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud.
Make sure the phone's on silent. Yeah.
Rocking with that.
I appreciate it, bro. It's funny. I was talking to my wife yesterday on the way home. She's like, "Who you got on the podcast tomorrow?" I'm like, "Red Mcfly." She's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And my son's like, "Red Mcfly?" Like he was shocked, right? I was like, "Yo, I've known Red for a while." And I was telling him when I had met Vera when I was maybe like 18 years old, and Vera gave me one of your beats, and the beat was actually called "Take Flight." And I wrote the song, and it never went out. And I showed my son, he's rocking it with it in the back seat. Yeah, I'll send it to you. But
yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. I would definitely have to re-record it. I recorded it like shit. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that had back then.
It's a minute.
I don't even remember making a beat called "Take Flight." That's the crazy
gosh.
thing.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you as soon as we done.
I never knew I made one called that. Yeah. I know, like, that's the whole theme. I had projects called that, but I never knew I made it. I don't remember making a beat called that.
I mean, we talking about
I did,
almost a decade ago.
Damn.
Yeah, almost a decade ago. But yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I'll even play it at the end of this episode for the people.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the ugly version from when I was 18. Rapping on there. But yes, we are back with another episode of the Dope Individuals Only podcast. I'm Erik The Host, and I'm up here with another dope individual. Please introduce yourself.
What's going on? It's your guy Red Mcfly, aka the 5'10" giant. Take flight, we in.
Yay. Yo, man, thank you for being part of the podcast, being part of the community. Much appreciated.
I appreciate you having me.
Much love, man, for real. Yo, so I want to jump right into the shit. I know you seen the Super Bowl the other day.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that performance? Because people was in an uproar, a lot of mixed feelings about it. I'd like to know your perspective.
Well, I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I know the whole team over there. TD, shout out my guy Top Dog.
Hey, shout out.
I feel like it's he did a performance where it was supposed to go a certain way and it did. Like, he was able to execute a Super Bowl performance without having like all the crazy spectacular stuff. I think he accomplished what he wanted to. He got his point across, his message.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess people just used to Super Bowl performances being like
outlandish,
stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just something different. And I respect, I'm a fan of art itself. So like I could watch something and I could interpret it the way like how I feel that the artist is meant for it to be.
Yeah.
Interpreted. So I'm probably looking at it different from other people. I know they probably wanted something like crazy, spectacular, people jumping around, doing all crazy stuff.
A couple years ago, they had Bruno Mars. It looked vastly different from where it was the other night.
Yeah.
As far as, do you think America was ready for hip hop on that large of a stage? Like, hip hop is the most represented music genre of all, but like the Super Bowl like typically brings out like pop stars. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if they ain't ready now, they ain't never gonna be ready.
That's a fact.
Because hip hop has grown so far and it passed a lot of other genres where it's like hip hop is everywhere. All the major brands, all the sports, you see they coming to us.
Yeah. The niggas gotta give us a program.
Yeah. And it's like, who you talking about in America? Because Kendrick Lamar got a lot more monthly listeners than a lot of other people in different genres. So, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Plus, I know the NFL trying to appeal more to our demographic, younger demographic, and this is what the younger demographic listen to. They listen to hip hop.
Yeah. I do have a question. Because we was all waiting for the song to be played, Not Like Us.
Oh yeah,
and he did
I was too.
He was waiting too.
Yeah.
So were you expecting it?
Yeah.
You was?
Yeah. Like I hip hop is a sport too.
I say that same shit all the time.
You know what I mean? So when LeBron is up, it don't matter if they up 50 points. And he on that court, he gonna keep dunking, keep blocking, keep getting rebounds.
Right.
he gonna finish you off until the coach pull him out the game and then put the bench in.
That's facts.
I loved it. Boxing, you gonna keep punching your opponent until the ref be like, oh no, TKO.
Yeah. Chill out.
Yeah, you ain't gonna stop and be like, oh, I feel bad for him. That's how hip hop is.
I wonder, is this gonna reignite it? Because I know in the news lately, Drake has been talking about suing, like he's been trying to sue people.
Yeah, I ain't really been following that too much. I don't even know if that's how possible that is.
I know he sued. I forget who he sued, but he sued. He went to sue somebody for defamation, saying that they were pumping up the music, and then he pulled the case, and then apparently he was going to go after the NFL if he performed the song. So now we a couple days out from the Super Bowl, so I guess we're gonna see what happens with that one.
That's wild.
That is wild. Like you can't get into a rap beef and then want to take the legal route.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes it's like, is that what it is, or is it that he's just trying to be even more of an outsmarter and be like, all right,
playing different
games. Doing this, I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
maybe.
It's like we don't really know. You know what I mean?
Is it good for hip hop though? Because I think we all love when music looks like a sport. It looks like the sport of rap. Because we this is a game. We are battling. You know, hip hop got rap battle roots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So can you start doing things like I think it sets a bad precedent. I really do. I think like you start getting into little rap bouts, and then that's the way you want to play it. After I think he lost. I think he lost it. So
yeah, but I guess because it don't went beyond the aspect of what you said with the battle. It's like now the labels got involved. If they are pumping up strings, you know, it's like it's so many different levels when it's two artists on that level.
Yeah.
Now if you're dealing with like some C-list or some B-list artists, then you're gonna get a real, battle.
You're gonna get a real battle.
Yeah. But now you're dealing with A-list artists that's like, this artist is a corporation kind of.
He's a brand.
He's a big brand. You know what I mean? Like they just as big as Nike and Adidas and all these other people.
That make a lot of sense.
So it's like they trying to protect that. So
I definitely
it kind of take away from it. You know what I mean? Like it's not as organic.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I really liked the performance the other night. I thought the simplicity was what made it that much more impactful. You got Samuel Jackson dressing up as Uncle Sam.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was dope. I wasn't expecting to see him out there, but I thought it was vastly different. Like I went to therapy a couple days ago, and my therapist asked me like about the performance because he didn't understand. He's like, I can hear the music, I can hear the beat, but I don't understand what he's talking about. And I'm in there trying to explain to my therapist, he's an older white man, like in his 60s, in his late 60s, of what the fuck is going on.
But think about it. Think about when we hear bands like metal, like death metal and these bands that be screaming, no.
Yeah.
Like, we don't be knowing what they saying either.
That's a fact.
I don't even know if the people that listen to them know what they saying. So it's like, you're never going to make everybody happy. It's impossible.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I was in there trying to break it down for him, but I told him, I'm like, look, man, you got better luck getting on YouTube and just finding somebody that got the time to explain this in 10, 15 minutes.
Break it down,
because you're not going to take my time.
The Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. Give me some pictures and some little side videos with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But some things is not meant to be explained. You know what I mean? It's how you interpret it when you watch it. So, like, you might watch this and I'll watch it and you might get something different from what I got.
Perspective.
Yeah. So it's like, sometimes things don't need to be explained. To him, it might just be a person up there rapping, doing songs. He had people dancing around stuff, and that's all it was. You know what I mean? It's like he might not even if they give the message to him, he might not even understand.
He might not receive it. Yeah. I think the culture definitely plays a big role in us being able to understand what we're listening to and how it affects us. Yeah, for sure. I definitely wanted him to understand because, like I said, he's on the back end of his life. He's an older white man. But for him to even come out and ask me, I thought was like, you don't really have too many.
You got a little curiosity.
Yeah, he has some curiosity, and I kind of wanted to feed in that and give him whatever game I could give him.
Yeah, I feel
provide a little bit of understanding for him. But I was really excited about the whole day. I got entirely too drunk on that day. I was throwing up out of my car driving.
For the game?
After, the next morning, my wife driving all quick to the daycare in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, baby, you might have to pull over. She rolled the window down. There it go. Oh, man. I want to talk about your project a little bit. There Will Be Tears, correct?
Yep.
There Will Be Tears. I only got 7 songs in, so I haven't finished the whole project, but I really like what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the influence come from to create this album?
For me, the influence is all around. It's like it could come from my kids, it could come from one of my homies I'm talking to that's locked up, somebody I'm doing business with, running around, you know what I mean? They're running into different people, seeing different things. That's how my music always been, and that's why it always hits so close when people listen to it. Because it's like, this is stuff that every project, if you listen to it, it's stuff that's going on in my life at that current period of time.
Right.
So it's like
the inspiration everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not talking about too much of the past, too much of the future. I'm talking about what's going on right now. And There Will Be Tears is just basically saying, when you think of tears, they come from all different types of emotions.
That's a fact.
It could come from somebody that's angry, they start crying. Somebody that's sad, tears come down their eyes. Tears of joy when you're happy. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
So it's like I'll put all of that into the music.
I like that.
So when I'm saying There Will Be Tears, it's not always necessarily like a negative thing.
I like
There's
that.
gonna be all kinds of tears.
I think the cover art's fire too.
Oh,
Who designed it?
That's actually an AI.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've been doing that with my project. I've been doing that before AI even got too big. Like if you look all the way back at Life is Crazy.
If you want to adjust the mic too, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go back and you look at Life is Crazy when I'm sitting in the chair like this,
Mm-hmm.
and all this the stuff is coming out like that was an AI image. I was doing that art before it became a big thing.
My man was tapped in way before that.
Most definitely.
That's fire. I just started getting into the AI. I've been fucking around with it for like my thumbnails and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
It has a lot of capability. But the information is coming in so fast. It's changing so fast that it's kind of hard to keep up with.
I think it's something that has to be done. Like, it's so new and it's something that's gonna be here for a while. That is like, damn, we gotta like really make sure we pay attention and try to keep up with it, because it's like when the internet came and people were like thinking that, it wasn't that big. Like people still had encyclopedias and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like everything is on the internet, and the people that jumped on that, same thing like with crypto. When people jumped on that early, it's like they were able to profit from it and use it to their advantage on a daily basis.
Right.
And that's how I feel like the AI is. Like, if you could figure out how to use it to your advantage in different scenarios in life, like, oh, let me rewrite this and then send this email, and it's very useful.
It's working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. That's why I always tell people, work smarter, not harder.
I fucks with that. A lot of people hear AI and they be scared. And
yeah, that's because it's so new.
It's so new.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, I get it, like, but I think we all have a choice to be ignorant to something or be willing to learn something new.
Yeah.
So.
And I've been using it in my beats, everything. Like, I know Kanye, we just
Really?
been talking about it the last week, but I've been doing it way before him.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, I it's to the point where, like, I made samples. I'll put these prompts in or whatever, like, yeah, make a rock song, sound like it's from the 80s, blah, 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 blah. Generate the song and then sample the song and then turn it into a beat.
How does that whole process go as far as like using AI in music, and then having to go through splits and things of that nature? Because before, if we collaborate on something, that's how we split up the pod. But like, do they get a piece of that? Like, does the company that created the sound for that
Nah, you own it.
You own it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good question, because a lot of people have said that to me, like, oh, you don't own it. Nah, you do. When you go on the website, it tell you that you own it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. How long, when did your music journey begin? I'm curious about that, because I know you've been at this for some time.
Yeah. My journey, I feel like this has been a part of my life since I've been in high school. And then I always walked away and came back and walked away.
It be like that.
But now this time is like different. where I stepped away for some years. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, losing people, unfortunate events happening after each other and all of that. So I used that to channel the energy to come back and do it. And this last run that I've been on been the best out of everyone that I did coming back to it. So like there's been times where I'm like, let me drop a couple records, see how they do. They don't do it like what I want them to do.
Right.
So then I fall back a little bit. Then I do it again and fall back. But the whole time I'm not understanding that consistency is what's really winning the game. So when I came back and just bow, that's when it's really been working for me.
I really like that you speak on consistency and you realizing like I got the talent, but this is what is really gonna push me over the edge.
Yeah.
Because I think
they say hard work beat talent.
Yeah. Especially when talent don't work hard. That's a fact.
I know a lot of talent. I know a lot of talented, lazy people out there. And they could be all the way up here if they really just put a little bit more effort into it.
Do you think that, because you said, I know a lot of talent, not a lot of talented, lazy people. Do you think that they're lazy because they know that they're talented?
Sometimes that's a thing.
Like, I don't got to do the extra work because I already got it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It be like that in the beginning, and then as time is your enemy. So when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm good. Okay. But the other guy that's over here that has to keep working on his craft, he working on his craft and he's still grinding and he's still showing up at these places, going here, putting out music, putting out content online. And you sitting there, eventually that guy's going to pass you.
That's a fact.
So it's like,
that's a fact.
Time is not on your side.
I tell my son that all the time. Like, he does traveling flag football. So we go all around the country playing these kids, and I be telling them, like, when we go down to Florida and we run into these kids, understand that their winter is still hot. Yeah. Like when it's cold and it's snowing outside, like, and we might not be able to work or we don't want to work because it's cold and it's ice out or it's snow outside. Like, they don't have these problems.
Yeah.
Like they get to work with no issues, and that even if we ahead of the curve on them. Every day we sitting and relaxing,
yep.
They closing the gap.
Yeah. It's like the, what was that called? The tortoise and the hare?
The tortoise and the hare.
Yeah. You know that story?
No.
It's about the,
You said,
the tortoise is the turtle, the hare is the rabbit.
Okay.
So the rabbit was fast or whatever, so he thinking he could let back, chill, all of that. He got the race by a landslide. Turtle was keeping up with a regular pace and just going. So all the whole time while the hare, the rabbit, chilling and doing all kinds of other stuff, the turtle don't caught up and won the race.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
Life be like that too.
It really do feel like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people thinking that they are owed something because they played a role in your journey?
I was just telling somebody that the other day. Like, successful people are never sitting around complaining about how they made somebody and what they owe. There's always the people that didn't apply themselves and become successful that act like that. Like if you run into any, successful person in any, it don't even gotta be music, it could be anything.
Any walk of life, yeah.
They don't care about what they did to help other people and all that. But like, there's always a person that never did anything that's envious and jealous of another person that got that attitude.
Right.
So I try to not even pay attention to them type of people.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Because I helped a lot of people along the way. And it's like, it is what it is. I learned lessons from some of them. Some of them I might have gained something, some of them I didn't. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's just how the game go.
Wow. I really like that, because sometimes I think we get caught up in the smaller things, and we lose focus based on people's opinions, people thinking that they owed something that maybe they ain't, and ultimately it takes us off of our focus, our path.
Yeah.
How do you? Because I know you reached a level that nobody in the area really has at this point. How do you you from here, right?
Yeah. I was born in Jersey. Once I hit like middle school, I moved out here, and I bounced around all over. So,
But
to
Allentown,
me, essentially, this is home.
this is home.
Yeah.
So you familiar with the city, like you know how it gets sometimes. What kind of things do you do to stay locked in? You know what I mean? Especially because, like I just said, you have the most success out of any artist coming out of this area so far, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that wish they could be in your shoes at this moment. So how do you stay grounded, stay focused, and not let
I try to make sure I always got that tunnel vision. Like, it gets hard to not pay attention to something that's all the way over here in your peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to not, go over there, take a little look. But sometimes I gotta bring myself back over here and understand that I'm the pilot of this plane. So like I gotta get us to that destination through all the turbulence, all of that. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, just that consistency, not paying attention to what other people are doing or saying, and I sometimes I fall a little victim to that still, but I be trying
we human,
not to.
we
Yeah.
human. I get it.
And then just knowing what you want and like not stopping until you get that. Anything I ever applied myself to in life that like I locked in, and I was like, I ain't stopping till like even when I wanted to buy a house, I was like, yo, I know I gotta save this money. I gotta grind out, blah, 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 blah. I can't spend money on dumb stuff like I was doing. I can't go buy them Balenciagas this week. Can't do this, can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I locked in and got taken care of that when I wanted to start a business or anything in life. It's like if you just keep your focus on that and you just constantly feed into it every single day, eventually you bound to hit that mark.
Yeah. I like that. Because sometimes we get to the point, I think most people, we get to the point where we work on something for so long and it's like, damn, man, I've been at this for so long. I still ain't get there. I still ain't get what I was striving for. And that's that point where people get that feeling like, man, fuck this shit.
But sometimes we not honest with ourselves.
What do you mean?
Like sometimes we gotta be like, damn, am I really applying myself 100% to this goal? Like, am I investing every free dollar I got? Am I investing every free minute I got? Am I trying to go out there and meet people and network and communicate with everybody that's up higher than me? Or am I sitting around and, just wasting time, wasting money, and not really applying 100%?
I love that, bro. I love that. Self-reflection.
Yeah.
I talk about that shit all the time. Self-reflecting. We love to like pass our judgments on other people, but when it's time for us to look in the mirror, it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, like sometimes I try to see myself from a perspective that other person, like, all right, let's say for example, I'm thinking like what you said. Damn, I've been grinding, blah 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 blah. I'm not where this artist is at. So now I gotta look at myself as another person. Like, okay, do they go on my Instagram? Do they see I'm dropping music videos every month? Am I dropping music the way I should? Am I feeding the algorithm? Am I speaking to people? Am I all of that stuff?
Yeah.
Am I going out and
doing the
meeting?
little things?
Yeah. So if I can't answer yes to all them questions, that means I'm not
doing everything.
I'm not really doing I'm not trying hard enough.
I love that you speak about the algorithm and posting and things of that nature. Cause I'll be honest, I fucking hate the fact that like I really like in my perfect world, man, I create the music, I put the music out, and a million motherfuckers rush to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my perfect world. But the reality is you gotta play the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes the game takes away from the art. Sometimes the game can affect the passion as well.
It could sometimes. But at the end of the day, we gotta remember that this game is called the music business. So it's not just the art of music, it's the music business. So when you want to succeed in the music business, you have to really like, yeah, you got to engage. You got to be mindful of the business tactics that other people did that got them successful. And what's the new trends? Like, okay, everybody before they was dropping CDs or whatever. All right, CDs is done. Now it's Spotify. Now it's past that. Now it's reels and stuff like that. Short form content. It's going on podcasts and talking to people and having your little, the clips like this where they got the words on the bottom of the screen and things is going viral. And all. It's like you gotta always be a student of the game and like really sit there with your notepad. Like, okay, like there's so many times me, Ted, Phil, my brother, we sending each other reels and we sending each other ideas. It's important to have a team too, because as a collective, we pass these ideas on each other. Like, yo, you see what this person doing? You need to be doing something like that. Not copying them, but you need to be doing something like that. Yeah. You need to be doing this. You see what this person was saying in this information in this video? And I'm really like paying attention to it. And
I like that.
Applying that.
The team thing is hard. It's hard to find. I'll speak from my personal perspective because I've tried this before where you try to put a bunch of talented, creative people together. The one issue I kept running into was it's hard to find people that are as hungry for me, as hungry as me for this. A lot of the time, like me, I'm very multifaceted. I'm pretty good at a lot of different things, but I'm pretty good at a lot of different things. I'm not great at one thing. So like I might have somebody that's a little bit better with a camera than me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, is he going to be as committed to the overall collective as me? Or, is he only going to move when I move? Is he only going to move when I say, hey, I need this done?
Right. And that's why sometimes I try to make it my goal to learn everybody, because now I know what moves people. So if I know this guy is moved by money, I'm like, all right, let me toss him a couple dollars every time I need him to show up with the camera or do this. If I know this guy is moved by being around celebrities and stuff like that, all right, every time I'm at a party, let me bring him with me. It's going to keep him, the morale up. Like, I want to keep doing this. If I know this person is, they just like to sit in their studio and give me ideas and they like to hear my feedback. It's like you got to know the people around you and know what keeps them.
Know your circle.
Yeah.
Know your circle.
Same thing with me. They got to know like what keeps my attention and stuff.
Right.
So it's like certain things they might have to do to get my attention, because other things might not work.
Is there things that you do outside of what you just named? Like are you guys spending time outside of music to kind of build that family foundation, like to keep it tight?
Yeah, we do meetings, Zoom meetings.
Okay.
Sometimes we go out to dinner. My boy Golf Restaurant, Thai 2 in Bethlehem is a great Thai restaurant.
Go check it out if you're in the area, man.
Yeah, give him a little plug. Sometimes we go there, have dinner, chop it up. Every trip, every time we in the car, that's a meeting right there. We talking, coming up with ideas, bouncing stuff off of each other. Just phone calls on the dailies, things like that.
I love that. Listen, if you out there and you're an aspiring artist, you're hearing some of these tips that you guys need to be doing to make all this possible. At this moment in time, like with my podcast, when I roll up places, I go do live podcasts. It's just me and the fam most of the time. Shout out to my boy Zay. He come and take pictures for me sometimes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But other than that, it just be me and the fam. I haven't found that circle just yet. That is
sometimes the fam is the circle.
Sometimes it's the I know for sure I could always count on my wife, whether it's taking pictures, setting up, tearing down.
Yeah.
So
sometimes the wife be the realest one on the team, you know what I mean? So.
Big shout out to the wives and the women out there holding it down.
Yeah. But it's just utilize the people that's around you. Like it might be your brother, it might be your wife, it might be your kids, it might be your homie, it might be people at work. You know what I mean? You just gotta know, like, you can feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can feel that the energy that's. You want to keep the ones that's giving the positive energy around, and the ones with the negative, keep them
to the side. Put them in the back.
Yeah.
I want to go back to There Will Be Tears quickly because I'd like to know what is your favorite song on the project and what was your favorite song creating on the project?
It's hard to say favorite song on the project. I don't even know if I can answer that question. But favorite ones creating was all the ones where I really got to sit and work with other artists. Like I got Nova, that's his artist I put on the team.
Shout out.
Nova RX, he from Toronto. Kid is super talented. He does everything. He's a student of the game. He goes take classes, learning how to make his engineering and production better. Like
that's what's up.
He does everything that I feel like I would be doing at this because he's a little bit younger than me, same age. You know what I mean? So people like that, I gravitate towards. The one with Benny and Fuego Bass.
I didn't hear that one yet.
Oh yeah,
I still got. I fuck with Benny.
So that record, it actually was supposed to have been their record at first. So I got to sit in the studio, I produce it, not knowing I'm gonna actually it's gonna be on my record.
Yeah.
But I got to sit there as a student of the game and watch the process from somebody that I really respect in the game, Benny the Butcher.
Shout out.
And Fuego Bass, actually.
Shout out.
Two crazy lyrical artists, you know what I mean? So
I'm not familiar with Fuego, but I know Benny has made a huge come up over the past few years. Fuego.
Check some of his stuff out. I produced a record for them. It was Benny, Fuego Bass, and OT the Real. You know OT the Real?
I know OT the Real, yeah.
All three of them was called The Warehouse. That record was fire.
I'm gonna have to check that out too. You gotta do so. Records that you produce, not records that you own, but records that you produce, do you have a hand in promoting them as well, letting them know like, yo, I was part of this record, but only in this capacity? Because the production is it's all very, very important. You can have a dope ass beat and not the right artist on it and it don't pop, but vice versa.
You saying do I help out with
So you promoted that you just plugged the record that you produced for them. Are you like on your social medias? Are you letting people know that you're part of these records?
Yeah, definitely, always. Anything that I feel is worth doing that. Sometimes things just is a business transaction, you know what I mean? But stuff like that's a real project that I really was a part of, and I'm really a fan of the art that came out from it. So like, I pick the stuff that I feel is and I try to only really work with people that I feel like is something great could come out of it. You know what I mean? It's something that people gonna listen to it and appreciate it and things like that.
I get that.
I try not to just make things just be a transaction, but you know.
I get that. Yeah. I definitely understand that, especially when you talk about the bulk of your music is lived experience, if not all of it. So I definitely understand that you want your music and your creation to have context to it. Yeah. So I definitely respect that. I do have another question because I'm curious about it, right? How do you feel about being around stars? Benny's a star, right? Like when you walk into these spaces, like how do you feel when you're in these spaces? Like, is it kind of like a wow kind of thing, or does it feel like, yeah, I was meant to be in this bitch kind of thing? Like,
yeah, I think it's more that I feel like I'm supposed to be here, but at the same time, it's like I don't take it for granted. I know that like if I don't work hard and keep up with the workflow of how things got to go, then I know, I could be clipped from the team. It's just no different from being on the NBA team. Like, if LeBron wasn't putting his numbers up, he'd be one getting traded instead of somebody else.
Yeah.
I know. But, like, sometimes I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, damn, I'm really... I did that when I was on... Because, I put this project out under French Montana label, Coke Boys. So I was sitting at his house in L.A. and working on his... he was working on a project and whatever. And I remember I was sitting there like, damn, I'm really sitting over here. This person's house is up the block. That person's celebrity house is around. So sometimes you take it in, but you understand that like I gotta keep working to keep this going.
Got you. What are you most proud of yourself for? I thought that was a good follow-up question.
Yeah, I'll probably say just never giving up in my children. You know what I mean? Like
I fucks with
as a
that.
parent, you know what I mean? That got to be one of the things that you're most proud of, you know?
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's the legacy.
Exactly.
That's a legacy. How do you, if you don't mind me asking, how old are your children?
My son, they go from
He said they go from
I got a few of them.
preteen.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
From preteens all the way up to teen. I got a few of them.
That's what's up. Do you take them? Do you take them with you in some of these times?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
I do. Especially my oldest son. He likes to I could see like his friends in school.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to do their little music thing and
Yeah.
stuff. So it reminded me of when I was a kid, like watching rappers and stuff and wanting to do things, and the interest level was there. So I'm like, damn, to be young and still want to be interested in what your dad is doing. Like to me, I
That's dope.
appreciate that. Yeah.
That's dope.
So sometimes I like to bring my kids. I like them to see things that like how things operate. Oh, you see how they shooting the video. You see the lights and all that. You know.
Mhm.
So
Exposure, just
yeah, it's dope.
you know what
Like
I
I
mean?
wish I would have had a parent doing stuff like that. I could have went and seen it.
Do you think I want to piggyback off that as far as like not having those things? Do you think that was like a catapult for you to get to where you are? Because sometimes like I know for me, it's funny. I was writing my book earlier and I was thinking about like in the book I'm talking about my childhood, and the book is called "It's Happening for You." You know, we as people have a habit of like feeling like victims for the things that we experience, especially shit we couldn't control. But a lot of this shit, like being 29 years old and coming up out of that situation and now having control of my life, I feel like in many aspects it happened for me as opposed to me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I always feel like that. Like a lot of the bad things that happened in my life, like even when I went to jail, like I always felt like I'm the reason why I'm here. I never was mad. I never was like, I need to hurry up and get out of here. Nah, I sat there and I really used that time to understand, like, you know, it's consequences from things I did
and this is part, yeah.
and format what I want to do when I get out of here and how I ain't gonna come back.
Do you write down your goals?
In the air, in the cloud, I do.
In the cloud. I ask because we set out on things all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time we lose the path on the journey. And I know me personally, I write down my goals every year. I'll put 10 on there for the 12-month span. And there's plenty of times throughout the year I'll be like, yo, man, I just feel like I'm stuck in mud. And then I get to see what I planned out for the year, and it's like,
that's dope.
I could be doing this shit.
Yeah.
I don't gotta feel stuck in mud.
Nah, that's good. I wish I did stuff like that. That's actually a good idea. Like I might take that and apply that in my life.
That's what's up.
Because when you can visualize it, it's a little easier and a little better. You know what I mean? So that's a dope idea.
I printed out. My wife made it all pretty for me. She put colors, and I put like published my book in there, so she got like books and like a little clip art and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I printed one. I put it right next to my bed. It's posted up on the wall, and I carry one around with me.
Oh, that's dope.
And it's just like a constant reminder of like, stay hungry, stay consistent, stay hungry, stay consistent.
Yeah.
Because I know like there's a lot of things in my life that could easily take the focus, even if they're important things like my children, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm still, the grind is still going.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about this hill you chose to die on. I don't know about this hill. Do you remember the hill you chose to die on?
I think I did. What was it?
It was
What
about
I said?
chicken. It was about
Oh
chicken.
yeah, I said Chick-fil-A better than Raising Cane's.
I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that. But Raising Cane's is new. Raising Cane's is
It's
new to
new
the
to
area.
here.
To
Yeah,
here.
to the area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
just feel like I don't know. It ain't got that flavor like Chick-fil-A. The Chick-fil-A sauce is better. I don't know.
okay. I do want to talk about other
The
chicken
waffle
joints
fries
though.
is better than the fries they got.
I do fuck with the one. Yeah, you right on that aspect. I'll give you that. I do want to talk about other chicken joints though, because maybe not everybody in this area or in other places, whoever it is watching, they might not have a Raising Cane's, but Chick-fil-A is definitely in most places. So I want to run through a couple places. I want to see how long Chick-fil-A could stay in the fight. All right, so it's kind of like that chicken sandwich war we had a couple years ago. All right, so wait, what do you order from Chick-fil-A?
I get a 4-piece chicken tenders with the waffle fries.
You don't even get the chicken sandwich. Nah. I fuck with the. I fuck
And
with
that's
the
why
chicken nuggets.
my opinion is more valid.
Okay.
Because I get the tenders from there and from Raising Cane's.
So the same shit.
So it's more comparable.
Yeah,
To
okay.
somebody that get the sandwich.
All right. So we talk about tenders. What about KFC? KFC or Chick-fil-A?
Nah, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. All right. We got Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, tenders.
It's the sauce.
It's the
Nobody
sa-
got the sauce better than Chick-fil-A. So it's like nobody gonna beat them. I don't
So
think.
it's the dip. So it's the dip that really set it apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the combination. You know what I mean? The way they do the chicken tender and that sauce is just, that sauce don't even taste good with nothing else really. I be buying it at the store, and I make my own chicken.
It don't
ain't
hit the same.
Yeah.
You know what the real MVP sauce is from Chick-fil-A though?
Which one?
It's the the honey roasted barbecue. You ever had
I
that?
never had that. Nah.
Ah, you missing out, Red.
Nah, I might have to dip one in it next
Yo,
time.
it's good with everything. You could put it on chicken sandwiches. You could
Oh,
put it
word?
on the nuggets. You could add it in with the mac and
I'm
cheese.
gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to try that.
Bro, it's fire. It's fire. That's not a bad hill to die on. I'm not mad at you.
Everybody argue with me, but I'm like, come on, man. This that Raising Cane's. It's all right.
I want to talk a little bit about hip hop. Because we in the game.
Yeah.
We in the culture. We respect the culture. How do you feel about the state of hip hop? Like as far as the direction it's heading in?
I feel like it's in a great direction because now, when hip hop started, everything was tailored to just a young audience, 18, 19 years old, whatever. People that was 25, 30 years old, whatever, up to 40 and older, they didn't understand it. Now hip hop has grown so much that there's different genres within hip hop for different types of people in different age groups.
That's facts.
Like you could be a rapper and you could just cater to teens and somebody that's 30 years old or whatever don't listen to you. Or you could be a 30-year-old rapper and people that's 25 and up listen to you, but kids don't listen to you. But both people could be equally successful. And I feel like it's
demographic
never
for
been like
everybody.
that
Yeah.
until now. Yeah.
I never thought about it in that aspect. Cause that is true.
Yeah.
That is definitely
it's wide
true.
open.
Yeah.
Like it's broad right now. The most that it's ever been.
And then you get social media in there and you could target exactly who you know is listening.
Exactly.
I like that.
If you know what you're doing, know how to run your ads, you can pick your audience.
That's fire.
Yeah.
My man knows some shit. He up here talking some shit.
I ain't gonna take all the credit. I got a good team, you know what I mean? They help me with these ideas. But,
Of course.
you
But
know,
I love
I'm the face of it, so
I love how there's no gatekeeping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big issue I think back in the day where it's like you not everybody was privy to these conversations, but the power of social media allows everybody it to be accessible if you want the answers.
exactly.
I do have another question because you come from a different era, even though you still play in the game today. Do you think it's harder to get famous now than it was back in the day, or vice versa?
I think it's easier now
You think so?
because all you got to do is you got to know how to play the game and know how to pick up on marketing trends and running ads and what people are interested in on social media. Like before, when I first started, social media was like just starting. People was using MySpace, Facebook. It's like it still was so new that people didn't really master it.
Yeah, they
quite
know how
yet.
to. Yeah,
But now it's like people grew with the different eras of social media. So now we're like a little more smarter and we know how things work, how the algorithm operates.
more
And,
savvy.
Yeah, we're more savvy to it now. So I feel like it's easier now than before. And because of what I said, that before the gap was like, you know, the demographic was a little bit more narrow. Now it's more spread out.
Right.
There's all kinds of people that you can tailor your content to, and then like you'll be good.
That's interesting. I asked you that question a couple years ago. I heard that question on the Joe Budden podcast. And whenever I have music conversations, I like to ask that question because it always varies. There is so much more competition than there was back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So
it is.
I think it's a little.
But I feel like it got split up.
It did.
The competition is, it's a lot more competition, but at the same time, it's like not everybody's your competition anymore.
That's very true.
So think about it.
That's
You
very
got
true.
a rapper like Ken Carson or like Playboy Cardi, Trippie Redd. You know, you got people that's like in that type of world.
Yeah, Tyler's.
Then you got people like Benny the Butcher, Conway, 38 Special, OT the Real. That's a completely different
demographic
group of people.
of the
then
same.
You got white rappers. Then you got these new trend of
You got Latino rappers now.
yeah, it's like it's so many different
All right, you got
subgenre.
You got it.
hip hop. They gotta do it like how they do rock. Like you know how you got classic rock, soft metal, heavy metal, country rock, pop rock, all of that. They gotta do that with hip hop. We gotta split this up. We not all in the same genre.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's alternative hip hop where you get like your Post Malones and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I think is long overdue for hip hop and rap?
What's that?
I hate the fact that like our biggest stars got to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hate that.
You think they should change it to the Music Hall of Fame?
It should be either music. If you're gonna allow rappers into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it should either be music or some form of like of something that's general, or we need our own.
Yeah.
Or we need our own.
But trust me, a lot of them feel like we shouldn't be in there too.
Hey man, that's why we build our own shit. I'm all with that, man. For real. If you don't want to let us in, we would kick down. Well, we kicked down the door to Rock and
I
Roll.
think they did started like a hip hop Hall of Fame.
They should.
I think they started something. I remember seeing something online. I can't.
There's a couple things I want to see come back in hip hop. Like I want the BET Awards to be what it once was.
Yeah.
I think it got watered down.
Bring back the Source Awards.
Yeah, Source Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a couple things. And I'm not saying we need to recreate. Well, it kind of is a recreation, but like make it for this generation. They do it with fucking movies all the time.
Yeah.
And they drop the ball many of the times. But I think with so many creative thinkers,
It's just that hip hop just got so damn weird. It's like,
it is weird.
so much stuff that's like not really hip hop that's considered hip hop nowadays.
Yeah.
So it make it hard.
I get it. But the real no. The real no.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
feel you.
that's one thing you can never take away.
Yeah.
People that are well versed in what hip hop is. Like I even get into it all the time. Like hip hop and rap aren't really the same thing either.
Yeah.
They might blend a little bit sometimes, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freaking this is final question of the day.
Okay.
What do you have to say to the artists on the come up? Everywhere.
I just want to tell them, and it's going to sound a little cliche in the beginning, but just don't give up and just be crazy enough to understand that you could do it.
I like
because
that.
all the people that really became super successful in this, it's like people look at them like they crazy a little bit. But at the end of the day, you got to be. Like, we got to be crazy to sit here and think that we could go out there and compete with this artist that's all the way up here and this artist that's all the way up there, or think that they're going to want to listen to our music and think it's dope. But fast forward, it did happen.
That's a fact.
Because we believed that it would.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's like unwavering faith. Like,
Yeah.
I like that.
I
like
believe
that.
your mind could control the universe.
I agree.
Yeah. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me.